My name's Lisa Theriault, and I'm a visual artist, and I'm based in Montreal. I make drawings mostly, and also videos and animations and miniatures. Um, Bridget, could you not do that right now? I'm kind of in the middle of something here. Yeah, so my work is often about place and how we construct place and how it relates to our identity. So I picked out some links for you today that inspire my art practice, but also are just things that I found entertaining. And well, yeah, mostly in the context of what I've been looking at recently during the pandemic and with the self-isolation that's been going on. So I hope you enjoy them. To start off with, I have a Facebook group called Les Enquêtes de la Quarantaine. This is an online auction that exists on Facebook that was created by an artist based in Quebec. The idea was that since many artists have less revenue and income right now because of the pandemic, that this auction could be a place for artists to share their work and make some extra money. So essentially, artists will submit their work to the auction, and if it's approved, they'll post it on their page, and people will make their bids in the comment section, and the highest bidder wins. And the artist receives 100% of the money that is made from the work. So I found this project inspiring just because I've enjoyed looking through the different artworks and kind of discovering some artists that are new to me. A lot of them are from Quebec, but there are artists from across Canada as well. I think this is a really inspiring community project as a way that artists are supporting themselves right now. I think it's an excellent example of some of the initiatives that are starting right now. Next up, I've included a couple online exhibitions. So I've picked two exhibitions that are drawing exhibitions, since drawing is a pretty essential part of my artistic practice. So the first one that I've chosen is an exhibition by Marcel Zama, and it is at David Zwirner Gallery's website. He has a really interesting cast of characters that he uses in his drawing works. I think they're very imaginative. On the website, you can see that they have installation shots of the exhibition. They have images of the individual artworks with information, and they have some text that goes with the exhibition. So it's a really nice way to get a closer look at an exhibition that you normally wouldn't be able to see. So I've been enjoying kind of browsing different galleries' websites to see what they have online right now. The second exhibition is by Kara Walker, and it is at Sikema Jenkins and Co. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce that, but this exhibition is similarly laid out. It has installation views that you can look at. It has some informative text, and there's also an e-catalog that has over 150 pages, and it includes all of her drawings. So Kara Walker, she mostly is well known for her cutout silhouette wall installations, and also she has really large sculptural works. So I was especially interested to see how drawing is a big part of her practice, and to get a closer look at her career's worth of drawings here in this exhibition. The themes in her work are deal with race and sexuality and violence and identity. So yeah, those are two examples of some exhibitions you can check out. Next, I have a bit of a different direction. It's a television show called Taskmaster. And Taskmaster is a British show. It's a game show that was created by a comedian. For each episode, there's 5 contestants, and they are assigned tasks by the Taskmaster, who is also the host of the show. And they have to try and complete these tasks, and they review their results on the show, and then they assign points and decide who wins. I included this link especially because they have 5 seasons of content available right now on YouTube for free, so it's very accessible. And I think it's really funny and interesting to see how people approach these bizarre and simple tasks. Next, I have a YouTube video called Lo-Fi Hip Hop Radio Beats to Relax /Study To. So this is a YouTube video. It's a continuous live stream of hip-hop instrumental music. So you can come to it at any time and there'll be something playing, and it's usually, really great background music, really relaxing and calm, and it's great to do menial repetitive tasks too, or to work at your laptop. So I've been enjoying coming to this playlist whenever it's just quiet and I need a different sort of background sound. It's fairly well known, especially with university students. It's very popular to listen to this while you're studying or working on things. And there's also these charming illustrations in that loop in the video. Next, I have a newsletter by Noah Kalina. He is a photographer, and he's most well known for a viral video he made several years back where he took a photo of himself every day. I believe it was for 6 years in the original video. Recently this year, he added to that video, and he now has a 20-year version. So that video might be familiar to you. But he was one of the original people who started this photo of yourself every day idea. So in this newsletter, he's a really excellent storyteller and very simple and effective writing and photos in his each of his newsletters that he sends out. I'll show you an example of one. This one is called Trail Camera, and it shows a photo that his neighbor sent him because his neighbor has a trail cam. So this camera was set up to take a photo anytime there was some movement around the camera. And basically, it leads Noah to get interested in trail cams, and he decides to purchase his own. And then he shares some of his experiences he had with some of the photos that showed up on this trail cam. So he gets some pretty bizarre images. You can see there's one with this woman with a picnic basket, maybe, and like there's a little kid at one point. So yeah, it's a fun newsletter to get in your mailbox and kind of a different sort of experience, almost like reading a blog. Next, I have a podcast called Creative Pep Talk. This is a podcast that is for creative people who are also independent workers, and it's hosted by an American illustrator named Andy Pizza. I've been enjoying listening to this while I work on drawings because they're longer form podcasts. They're normally over an hour, and they are very focused on the practical aspects of being an independent creative producer, I would say. So it's useful to me to kind of hear his interesting stories that he tells about his experiences and how he makes decisions and how he sees artists and creative people fitting in the world now. I especially enjoyed uh, this episode 272, where it says it's answers to the 4 questions I keep hearing over and over. So this one, he kind of specifically addresses creative people's concerns during the pandemic. Is there a future for creative careers? What should I be doing right now in lockdown? And I think he has an interesting perspective that he offers in that episode, and it's kind of encouraging to hear from someone who could speak about how it's going for him and for other people he's encountered. Next, I have Harvard X's free online courses. So these are free courses from Harvard University, and there's a variety that you can choose from. The one that I was interested in is called The Architectural Imagination. So these courses, you can do them for free. You just make an account and you'll have access to all of the course material, I think until October. You can choose to pay a small fee if you want, and you'll get a certificate and you'll have permanent access to the course material. But yeah, I've been going through some of the earlier sections of this course and looking at the lectures, and they also have exercises you can do. But I'm recommending this because I found it to be in a really kind of more engaging way to learn about a subject that interests me in my own art practice, to think more about architecture and how is an artistic form and how it's used in imagining spaces and ideal places. It's I really enjoyed the format of it. I think it's nice to have this video and paired with the transcript on the side so you can read as you listen, and you can follow this Harvard professor through the halls of the studios and you can check out some of their courses. And finally, I have The Sims, which is a video game that you can play on your computer. The Sims, if you've never heard of it, is a very popular video game, one of the best-selling video games of all time. It's existed for 20 years now, and essentially it is a life simulator. So there's a lot of different ways you can play this game. I think that's part of what I like about it is some people become really interested in making the characters, and some people become really interested in telling stories with it, and some people enjoy building the buildings, and some people just enjoy testing the boundaries of kind of a ridiculous game and seeing what they can do with it. And I'm especially sharing this because they have a new expansion pack that they're releasing in June, but it's called The Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle. The expansion that they're offering is this new world that is kind of a polluted industrial area, and you can use your Sims to transform it to become more eco-friendly and green. And by creating community action plans that your Sims can vote on, you can create marketplaces, community gardens, and maker spaces. And I think that's really interesting that kids can be exposed to those ideas and create their own worlds like that. That's all for the links that I have to share with you. Thank you to Alyssa Arsenault and also to the Galerie de Louise-et-Reuben-Cohen for inviting me to participate, and make sure to check out their other videos.